So a week before the film comes out, we find out the guy is a paedophile, right? Oh, actually, a paedophile. I don't care. And then the movie comes out, and I only hear about it a couple days before what the actual twist is, no spoilers, and then a whole bunch of other people are pissed. And there's a whole bunch of other people going, how can you be pissed? Like, this is art. And then I was thinking, someone in the comments of a discussion about the drama was talking about another film they watched where they had no warning that they still have nightmares about. At that point, the reason I'm doing this on Maine is that I think Obscure I attract all the weirdest people into conversation on Obscure. So I'll have the conversation here, not that it's any less weird, but I'll have the conversation here. Are you allowed to traumatize an audience? Like, there's with the drama, there's a thin line there, right? Keeping that detail secret is an interesting choice considering the state of America right now, right? Does cinema have a right to traumatize? Should we preserve its right to shock to the point of trauma? And I've been thinking about this a lot because how can you be, once you draw that line, anyone can say, well, you've traumatized me. Like, there's so much gray area here, and it's really not something that should have some kind of edict or mandate, which is why content warnings, trigger warnings, and ratings were put together in the first place, so that people could make informed decisions about what they're exposing themselves to. Having this conversation about, is cinema meant to make you comfortable, or is it meant to disturb the comfortable and make comfortable the disturbed? Everyone getting like really edgelord with it. I need to finish my makeup. I keep yapping and not finishing the makeup. But I've been thinking about this concept now for the last couple of months, right? For a myriad of reasons, including the fact that I didn't like Begonia. Everyone was telling me whether or not I'm like allowed to not like Begonia. A bunch of people didn't like One Battle After Another, and there's a whole bunch of people coming in saying whether or not they should have been able to dislike One Battle After Another. And all of those arguments center around comfortability. And like TikTok has really pushed this conversation now because everyone's like, oh, audiences just want to be comfortable. They're not media literate. And I'm in the business of being media literate and passing out that literacy for other people at Obscure. But I really have been genuine, like, should sexual assault scenes be filmed on film? Should they be depicted at the rate they are or not? Should they be depicted at all? All of these it's the one conversation that I don't think will ever come to an adequate closed conclusion on, and that is scary because we're talking about harm here. We're talking about someone went to a cinema to watch a movie, not the drama, but this person in the thread that I saw, went to the movies to be entertained and came out of it with trauma, right? Genuine, like, not triggered, new trauma, because they have nightmares about the movie. It's not nightmares of something else that was triggered by the movie. They are having nightmares about the movie. You can see that maybe in your own self, like, oh, I have nightmares about horror movies all the time. Yes, but do you feel like traumatized and haunted by them? No. Like, it's just kind of those things that linger with you. Some people are. Some people have that experience with some films that are meant to be disturbing. Where do we draw the line? How can we draw the line? To what extent can we moralize, not just about the content of the film, but the filmmaker's choice to even make it in the first place? This is a line I'm constantly analyzing. I'm literally constantly analyzing it because almost always, aside from being bored, finding a film to be potentially dangerous in the culture is one of the reasons I will hate a film. Like, hate a film. Because I don't think it is added substantially to the good in the world. You've spent all that money and all those resources, and your piece of art, I believe, is setting public consciousness back. Do I think you should stop making it? No, I just think that what you've made is not, it's not my thing. I don't wish for more people to see it. I'm not going to stop people from seeing it. I'm not going to stop you from making the films you want to make, but I won't recommend that people watch your film. So that's where my line is drawn. People are walking into cinemas and coming out with new trauma. Does film have a right to do that? Should we maintain the space for film to do that? Where do you draw the line? To what extent could you call it a spoiler? Technically, this could have been spoiled in advance of the movie. I don't think, genuinely, I don't think it would have harmed ticket sales. Because I think everyone would have just been interested in seeing how they land that plane, right? but they chose to keep it secret because of the shock value. If people connected to the twist, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and quite literally have experience with these things in their real life, they've just walked into a movie and they've spent quite a bit of substantial money on theatre tickets, like into the cinema, to watch a film that's going to re-traumatize them. Did Borgley have a right? Do artists have a right to do that? This is another one of my beefs with Yorgos Lanthimos. It's the beef I have with a lot of male filmmakers. To the extent that you want to stand out from all the other men in your field because there's so bloody many of you, how much trauma are you allowed to inflict? How much of other people's trauma are you allowed to sandbox in for your artistic? Though I may sound judgmental in saying that, I am genuinely asking, to what extent are you allowed to mess around with these concepts artistically in pursuit of a bigger career, in pursuit of all of these other things, that benefits that you get out of that playing, but also, let's just say it's fully altruistic. Do you get a right to re-traumatize people? And they pay you for that experience? Questions.